Then they'll face a storm. Storms can be caused by internal or external factors. Externally, it could be the election cycle, could be the economy, could be a big client or donor coming on board or leaving. It could be changing in the regulations of that industry. Internally, it could be key personnel turning over for whatever reason. It could be good or bad reasons. There could be major equipment that breaks down that you rely on. Now, I know that never happens in this high-tech world. Nothing ever breaks, right? It could be that priorities aren't clearly defined across the organization, and since resources are limited, well, most organizations I know, resources are limited. You may be different, but since resources are limited, people start fighting for those resources to make sure that what they think is most important gets done. And so what's happening is that there's this uncertainty and ambiguity that gets introduced into the organization. People start to get frustrated with this, right? Because they start to question, is this the direction that I signed up for? Is this the path that I thought this team would take and that I was willing to go with them? And so they start to question their commitment to the team and their loyalty to the team, and they start talking about the passion and direction and really what's our purpose, because it's really a difficult time. And so what happens is people start taking their mind off, how do I help the team succeed? And they start focusing on, how do I survive the storm? And so what happens is they start jockeying for position. They'll start, politics start coming into play, and the different factors go on. They'll start resisting influence from other team members. You do your thing, we'll do our thing, we'll make it through this, right? And so these silos start forming, which causes communications to start breaking down because people aren't actively communicating, proactively communicating with each other. And the decision-making process starts coming to a screeching halt because it's just easier to do it myself than to wait on someone else to get it done. And so what happens is productivity starts going down, things stop happening, the trust level in the rest of the organization and teams start dropping, and the finger pointing starts, the blame game happens, and instead of really starting to solve and working together to solve the problems. And what you may see is some rebellion against the authority during this time as well, because as leadership is trying to navigate this storm, they're changing the priorities around, trying to figure out how to make it through it. And they're communicating all those changes, which is great, but the people on the receiving end of all those communications go, whoa, when you get your act together, you come back to me and you tell me what you want me to do differently. But until then, I'm doing this because that's in my job description. That's what I get paid to do, and I don't get slapped when I do that. I've been getting slapped when I try to take the initiative, and it's not working. And so that's the storm, and they're in that.